In this video we are going to talk about top 10 animals you're glad don't exist anymore. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. The old Earth was loaded with massive monsters that developed to a scale not at all like anything alive at this point. Numerous advanced species, the huge and the little similar, are predominated in contrast with their ancient family members. The species underneath all seem to be creatures you perceive, yet with one key distinction: they're a whole lot greater. From snakes that could eat a crocodile to a crocodile that could eat a dinosaur, these monsters are not ones you'd need to reside in a similar time span as, not to mention a similar spot. Investigate these 10 antiquated animals and be happy they become wiped out. Number 10. Gigantopithecus blacki, the biggest chimp. From the Yeti to Hollywood's King Kong, legends and stories have consistently encircled monstrous gorillas. Gigantopithecus blacki, the biggest chimp that consistently lived, stood 3 tall and weighed over 500 kilograms. Its colossal mass and beast strength protected Gigantopithecus from the hunters that lived close by, including tigers, panthers, and mountain bears. Regardless of its extraordinary size, the tremendous knucklewalker was a herbivore, utilizing its weighty and solid jaws to bite the extreme grasses found in the Southeast Asian backwoods where it resided. In any case, you couldn't get between this extraordinary primate and its serving of mixed greens, okay? Gigantopithecus has generally been re-established as a huge, gorilla-like chimp, possibly 200 to 300 kilograms, 440 to 660 pounds, when alive. However, the lack of remains make complete size gauges profoundly speculative. The species might have been physically dimorphic, with guys a lot greater than females. The incisors are decreased and the canines seem to have worked like cheek teeth, premolars and molars. The premolars are high delegated, and the fourth premolar is exceptionally molar-like. The molars are the biggest of any known gorilla, and have a somewhat level surface. Number 9. Deodon shoshonensis. Deodon, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, entelodont artiodactyls, lived quite a while back in North America. The 3 long, around 1.8 m at the shoulder, 90 centimeters long skulled, 600 to 1,000 kilograms mass creature unequivocally looked like a Goliath, enormous pig or warthog, having colossal jaws with noticeable tusks and erupting cheekbones. It conceivably was a colossal, bone-smashing forager and hunter, found at Agate Springs Quarry. It had long skull bones under its eyes and hard projections on the lower jaw, not at all like the moles of the warthog, which might have upheld jaw muscles. The notable class Dinoheus, horrendous pig, has now been synonymized with Deodon, as the last option is the previous name, having mead. It is accepted that these pigs were foragers and not dynamic trackers. They had strong jaws which could pound bone. It had these jaws not to chase creatures but rather in light of the fact that it permitted it to threaten more modest creatures and remove their kills after they had brought down a creature. A large number of the savage trackers of the time would probably have moved in an opposite direction from their generally dead prey once Deodon had appeared on the scene, permitting it to search the meat at its recreation. Number 8. Dunkleosteus terrelli. Initially remembered to be an individual from the sort Dinichthyes, Dunkleosteus was subsequently perceived as having a place with its own class in 1956. It was believed to be firmly connected with Dinichthyes, and they were gathered in the family Dinichthyidae. In any case, in the 2010 Caratera and Hlavin phylogenetic review, Dunkleosteus and Dinichthyes were found to have a place with 2 separate clades. Carr and Hlavin restored the family Dunkleostidae and put Dunkleosteus, Eastmonasteus, and a couple of different genera from Dinichthyidae inside it. Dinichthyidae, thusly, is left a monospecific family. A monster 10 m long fish with a defensive layer plated head, the Dunkleosteus terrelli could chomp down with a power of 5,000 newtons. It could open its jaws, fixed with self-honing teeth, in 1/15th of a second, making a current to bring more modest casualties into its vast throat. Number 7. Arctodus simus. This Goliath short-confronted creature is a wiped-out types of bear having a place with the subfamily Tremarctini. It isn't simply the biggest bear at any point known, yet in addition the biggest predatory land vertebrate ever to exist. Having lived from 800,000 to a long time back, during the Ice Age, Arctodus simus is accepted to have developed from Plionarctos, the most seasoned known family of the subfamily Tremarctini. Otherwise called the bulldog bear or short-confronted bear due to its short, Wide-gagged, the Arctodus simus had a low brow with eyes set far separated and looking ahead, giving it magnificent vision. It estimated 5.5 feet at shoulder level while remaining on each of the 4 and up to 12 feet when on its rear legs with a span of more than 14 feet. However, it weighed as much 2,000 pounds, it had a more streamlined form than the earthy-colored bear. It had significantly longer appendages than the present earthy-colored bears, permitting it to run faster. Its contest with more modest creatures entering North America across the Bering Strait and the vanishing of a portion of its prey both may have driven toward the eradication of Arctodus around quite a while back. Number 6. Titanoboa cerrejonensis. Titanoboa, terminated snake that lived during the Paleocene epoch, 66 million to quite a while back, viewed as the biggest known individual from the suborder serpents. Titanoboa is known from a few fossils that have been dated to 58 million to a long time back. From extrapolations of body size produced using exhumed vertebrae, individual segments of the spine, scientists have assessed that the body length of the typical grown-up Titanoboa was approximately 13 meters, 42.7 feet, and the typical load around 1,135 kilograms, 1.25 tons. Titanoboa is connected with living boa constrictors and boas, however it is questionable whether it was all the more firmly connected with some of these advanced constrictor snakes. Titanoboa was first portrayed in 2009, about 5 years after it was exhumed from rocks uncovered at the Cerrejon coal mine shaft in Colombia, which deceives the west of the mouth of Lake Maracaibo. The remaining parts of around 30 people have been recuperated. The greater part are grown-ups, yet a few adolescents have been found. Most examples are comprised of vertebrae and ribs, which is regular of snake fossils. It is assessed that Titanoboa might have had in excess of 250 vertebrae. Number 5. Beelzebufo ampinga. Beelzebufo ampinga, the alleged fiend frog, might be the biggest frog that consistently lived. These volleyball-sized creatures of land and water, presently wiped out, developed to 16 inches, 41 centimeters, long and weighed around 10 pounds, 4.5 kilograms. They possessed the island of Madagascar during the late Cretaceous, around 65 to a long time back. These to a great extent earthly frogs might have been as cantankerous and forceful as their living family members, the ceratophrines of South America, researchers say. Ceratophrines are dreadful sit-and stand-by hunters that are anxious to rage at pretty much whatever occurs by, specialists note. The old fiend frogs might have grabbed reptiles, little vertebrates, and potentially in any event, hatchling dinosaurs with their immense mouths and strong jaws. Number 4. Arthropleura. Arthropleura, Greek for jointed ribs, is a variety of wiped-out millipede arthropods that lived in what is presently North America and Europe around 345 to a long time back, from the Vesian phase of the Lower Carboniferous period to the Sigmarian phase of the Lower Permian period. The types of the class are the biggest realized land spineless creatures ever, and would have had hardly any hunters. Arthropleura is portrayed by a progression of advanced tergites, dorsal exoskeleton, having 3 curves like a trilobite, with dorsal surfaces covered by numerous tubercles. The head is practically obscure, as the foremost oval plate before the first trilobate tergite, which past remembered to be head safeguard, were viewed as a column, first tergite of millipede trunk, by resulting studies, based on the revelation from other arthropleurids, microdisemplex, the head might have had non-filamentous radiowires and trumpet-like organs. It is assessed that Arthropleura had a trilobate tergite number going from 28 to 32. Number 3. Archelon ischyros. The Archelon turtle had a weight of 4,900 pounds. It compared 13.1 feet from nose to tail and 16 feet wide from one flipper tip to the next. In spite of the fact that its shell seemed to be that of present-day ocean turtles, it was more weathered than solidified. It is additionally accepted that this shell had 1-inch to 2-inch edges on it. The marine creature had a snared bill like a parrot with smashing jaws and unbelievably solid front feet that had the option to get its mass through the water like oars. The turtle probably benefited from mollusks, jellyfish, and shellfish found on the ocean bottom. Its essential hunters were ancient sharks and the mosasaur. The animal's family name of Archelon comes from ancient Greek arche, signifying first or early, and chelon, signifying turtle. Its species name of ischyros is likewise Greek, signifying strong or strong. In spite of the fact that there are many holes in logical information about the Archelon's mating and settling propensities, we really do realize that they settled near the ocean. Like other ocean turtles, they would emerge from the water around evening time and lay eggs underneath the sand's surface. Number 2, Sarcosuchus imperator. At the point when you consider huge reptiles from the Cretaceous time frame, you'd be pardoned assuming your most memorable idea was T. rex. However, while dinosaurs are much of the time the superstar, they were a long way from the specific ones. Take Sarcosuchus imperator, for instance. Now and again called super croc, this hunter isn't the kind of monster you'd need to find. It's felt that this types of crocodile, fortunately wiped out, would lock onto its prey with its in reverse pointing teeth, drag it into the water to be suffocated. Potential its prey even included dinosaurs. Current saltwater crocodiles are quite possibly of the most impressive hunter alive today. They are the biggest living types of reptile, with one of the most grounded nibble powers of any creature. The females develop to around 3 meters in length, and the guys arrive at an incredible 6 meters. Number 1, Brontornis burmeisteri. The biggest predatory bird ever, the 3 tall, 400 kilograms Brontornis burmeisteri was furnished with a monstrous mouth and tremendous hooks. As fast as a cheetah, it could likewise kick sufficiently to break bone. This bird should have serious areas of strength for bin, as its prey included old family members of the armadillo, which were intensely heavily clad and developed to the size of a little vehicle. Brontornis was a family of Goliath flightless ruthless birds that lived in Patagonia. The main species right now acknowledged as legitimate is B. burmeisteri. It has generally been set in the family Phorusrhacidae, nicknamed fear birds for their enormous size and savage way of life, and all the more exactly to the subfamily Brontornithini, which contained incredibly huge and extremely pudgy structures. It is known from bones, primarily of the legs and feet, yet additionally parcels of certain skulls and spine, tracked down in a few regions of Santa Cruz province. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.